Apparently, I'm still doing the intro. I keep getting this sprung on me, and I'm never prepared because Christian, the leader of the channel, apparently has given up on life. So this is Rival Talk featuring Christian, hosted by Marcus. So, Christian, how are you doing today?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just trying to survive. Life's a mess right now. So, just.
Oh, okay. That's first of all, that's my line, and now you're stealing it from me. So now not only are you about to take the lead in rival picks, but now you're taking everything from me.
Yeah, take a lead when it's 82-62. Yeah, that's
yep. There's still a chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
I mean, I'm so far gone. I don't even have notes really written. I barely have notes written for this week. So kind of going off script here.
Well, if you have barely any notes written, that's more than me because I have absolute zero.
I guess that's how we roll here, off script.
So, exactly.
So congratulations, by the way.
Right.
No, but really, congratulations. You officially won. So.
Is it mathematically impossible now or not?
As I said, it's 82-62 you. So,
well, yeah, but you change the rules all the time, so I don't know.
Yeah, you've officially won. Like 5 weeks ago, you officially won. So.
Oh, right. Okay, sure.
I've been the worst picker ever these last month and a half. So pretty much.
Well, I think you know what I think your problem was is you were picking to beat me rather than picking what maybe you thought was correct.
Some of them were, but some of them were. I wanted to be spicy and you pick those. I thought there was a legit chance. I mean, the Jags they did have a legit chance. They just didn't take advantage of it. So.
All right. Well, whatever you say.
But. Yeah, so, this week I might pick strategically based off how bad I've been, because basically it's going, whoever I pick loses, so I might be strategic with that this week.
Oh, wow, so great. I know who you're going to pick in the NFC then. Okay.
Well, we'll see. Maybe I will pick against my Eagles, and maybe I won't.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine you doing it, but I could see you being vindictive enough to do it, that's for sure.
Anyways, yes, bits of news. Sean Payton has been doing interviews in both Arizona and Denver. I believe he was in Arizona today. I guess it was like an 8-hour-long interview, so whatever that means.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, but like I really don't want him to go to either of those places. But if I had to prefer, I prefer him to go to Denver. I'd rather him stay out of the division. But
that is correct. Yes.
At the same time, is Denver going to fork over more first-round draft picks and all that money to coach too, and you don't know how it's going to go because of the quarterback you have to deal with. So
I'm wondering if, let's just say Denver is like the only serious suitor for Sean Payton, or he says that that's the only team he wants to go for. Would the Saints have to just accept less if they can't give up a first-round pick? It's either you're getting something or you're getting nothing. So I mean,
from what I understand, the Saints have the leverage really. So if they don't get what they want, they're not going to trade him there. As far as that's what it seems like.
Sure, but I mean, would you rather get nothing?
I guess that's a question then.
That is a question.
I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens with that.
We'll make our calls to the Saints and find out.
Yeah, we will do that. We'll get our production team on that.
So. Yeah, we're plugged in here.
But if he goes to Arizona, that would not be good.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. Although I don't know that he fits well with like Kyler Murray, but I still clearly he's better than Cliff Kingsbury. So yeah,
that's not too hard. So I wonder how Thailand is this time of year though.
I'm sure Thailand's going real well for him. I wonder if he's still ignoring all them calls from NFL teams that want his services.
Man, that's just something.
Yeah, it is.
And yeah, I can't really think of any other news. That's really all that I can think of. Have written down.
Yeah,
I just wrote down like 5 minutes for this. So yeah, that's my notes.
There you go.
That's my notes this week, pretty much. So
there you go. Yeah, that's it. That seems like it's it to me. I don't know of anything else.
Divisional weekend this past weekend was decent. Obviously, compared to last year, was not really that exciting, but it's hard to live up to that. But still some good games, some surprise, of course. I mean, I guess you wouldn't really call Cincy beating Buffalo a surprise necessarily because it could have gone either way, but the way they handled them, that was kind of surprising to see the way they really handled them with ease. Just a total difference in playoff seasons this year for Josh Allen this year compared to last year. I mean, last year he was like the best playoff quarterback ever last year, and this year he just falls on his face. So
perhaps that elbow injury is affecting him a little bit. I don't know.
I know that they've had some injuries too. They were battling through. I still feel like they had the talent to at least keep going on, but I know injuries didn't help out either. But again, at the same time, a lot of teams are injured this time of year too. So I mean, when it comes to playoffs, I don't really buy in too much into the whole injury thing because everyone's battling through injuries.
It depends on what the injury is, but
True.
yes, I would agree.
But I mean, because the Bengals, they're missing half their offensive line, so
correct.
Yeah.
Like if Joe Burrow is out, then that matters. That makes a difference. But I know what you're saying.
And I know Von Miller does make a big difference, but still.
Correct. Yeah. But they've been dealing with that. They should have had time to adjust a little bit at this point.
Obviously missing DeMar Hamlin because he was playing really well too. So
yes. Yeah. I did say last week that Cincinnati was better at every position than Buffalo, and you kind of laughed at me on that one.
I don't remember that.
You scoffed a little bit. You did. You said, wow, even quarterback? And I'm like, yeah, even quarterback.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, I know there was a conversation about this on Facebook, but the Bills right now kind of reminded me of the mid-2000s Colts before they won a Super Bowl. Like, so much talent there. Josh Allen was totally capable of leading them, but they do so great during the regular season, but then playoffs come and they just can't get over the hump. So, granted, of course, the AFC right now really is just stacked with, Burrow and Mahomes. Now the Jaguars and Lawrence coming up. Herbert
and Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Russell Wilson. That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like as long as they can get healthy, stay healthy, I feel like it's going to come sooner or later for that breakthrough for them. At the Bills, I feel like sooner or later they're going to break through and they'll get to the big stage there. So, but
we shall see.
Yep. The Eagles-Giants game went about as expected. The Jaguars-Chiefs, obviously Mahomes. I thought Mahomes was done for after seeing the replay of that.
So did I.
Like that. I thought that was going to be a torn something, but I guess it's just a high ankle sprain, which apparently he's off the injury report and he's full go.
Yeah, apparently the high ankle sprain doesn't affect Pat Mahomes like it affects other players, because this is the second time he's had a high ankle sprain and come back in the game and the next week. So I don't know.
It's going to affect him. I don't care what they say. I don't care if it's not on injury report. I don't care what they say. It's going to affect his mobility, which is going to affect the style of play that he's been this year, because this year he's been more, kind of more mobile and more scrambling and all that. So it's gonna have an impact for sure. So and then the Cowboys-Niners game once again ended on a very questionable and ridiculous call. So that was deja vu all over again. I think that tops the that Colts punt formation as the worst formation in play ever ran. So,
I was looking at it, I'm like, what are they doing?
Zeke has the stature to be a center these days, sure, but
Yeah, but come on. I mean, my gosh. And then the moment that play was over and it went to commercial, the first thing I thought of was, I wonder if Cowboys fans are going to see the Burger King commercial.
Oh, geez, yeah. Whopper.
Yes. Paid sponsorships are available, BK, if you're listening.
I guess maybe next episode we'll have to mix that in here somewhere, but we might lose.
Yeah, exactly.
We might lose some viewers for that. So.
Yeah.
I mean that was a good game overall.
Good
defensive battle, and obviously the Niners came through in the end there, because the Cowboys, I felt like, for a good chunk of the game, if Dak Prescott is obviously smarter with the ball, it's probably a different story, but
Dak was being Dak. It's just I think it's impossible for him to put 2 games in a row great together. He's one of the more inconsistent quarterbacks in NFL football that's considered good. That is.
That insane George Kittle catch, that was obviously the turning point there.
That was clearly the turning point, and I still don't know how it happened, especially since I don't know how Diggs didn't knock the ball loose. He just kind of
could have also probably, if he would have played the better, could have intercepted it. There were 2 plays on that drive he should have probably intercepted. So
yeah, he's not the Diggs of last year, that's for sure.
No.
Which is fine.
But so heading this week, we got rematch of the AFC Championship game last year. Bengals going to Kansas City against Chiefs, and then we got Eagles-Niners, the one that I predicted almost a year ago. So
you sure did.
That's about the only thing I've done productive in the last year. So
what was your AFC? It was Bills, obviously, but did you go Chiefs-Bills or what?
I'm pretty sure I went Chiefs-Bills, so I was close there too.
Yeah, you were. 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Yeah, so go ahead. I guess you have the floor now. You're the host. You have the floor. You're Niners, so congratulations.
It's definitely nice to be here again. It's 3 out of 4 NFC Championship games in the last 4 years.
What, 6 of the last 11?
Yeah, pretty crazy. It's that obviously goes back to Jim Harbaugh, but Shanahan has definitely been everything I've ever wanted him to be. It's just, can he get over that hump and actually win something, not just get to a Super Bowl or get to NFC Championship games. And at some point you gotta win them games. And last year we had it and didn't get to the Super Bowl. Now this year, here we go again. And I'm as nervous and anxious and just, I'm
Still
beating my
waiting
head
for
against the
Purdy's
wall, just
downfall?
waiting for this. What was that?
You're still waiting for Purdy's downfall?
Oh, I always am. I'm always waiting for everybody's downfall in my life because I'm the eternal pessimist. And last week, Purdy. Yeah, no worries, man, no worries. But last week Purdy didn't look great until pretty much the whole game. He didn't look great, but he did finally kind of get his bearings about him. I think the pressure got to him a little bit last week, and then literally, figuratively, and literally, the pressure of the game and the pressure of the Cowboys. Our offensive line did not play. That was maybe the worst they played all year.
You got another tough task this week.
Yeah, and that worries me greatly for this week. But while that worries the H out of me, it also is something that I believe Shanahan could use to our advantage. And hear me out on this. The Eagles' defensive line is a pass rushing defensive line. That's it. They don't really stop the run very well. And I think it's something that perhaps Shanahan could scheme to make things look like passes and possibly maybe even run some screens that we don't normally run. We're not a screen-heavy team not from the running back at least. We do run a lot of wide receiver screens, but it's got to be something that we need to take advantage of, and that their ends are kind of looking to go upfield and not really set the edge. So we got to take advantage of that. There's no doubt about it. We got to get to the edge quick, maybe some draws, and then hit that edge quick, and maybe hopefully get McCaffrey or Jordan Mason or Eli Mitchell to get some nice rushing yards. That's going to be the key, is to control the run game on their end and on our end. We gotta run the ball well, and we got to not let Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts go for big rush yards. At least consistent rush yards. Jalen Hurts is going to have a 20-yard run here or there. He just is. He's going to have 1 or 2 a game. That's just what he does. But I don't want him being consistently a problem in the run game. If he's got 3 rushes for 40 yards, and sure, that is what it is. And if he picks up 3 first downs, he's going to do that. But man, I don't know. Hopefully Fred Warner's up for the task. If there's any middle linebacker in the game that can probably spy him well, that's great. It could be Fred Warner. But then if he's spying Jalen Hurts, what are we doing with Dallas Goedert? There's just too. I imagine it's kind of the same thing the Eagles are thinking of us. There's a lot of wrinkles. Sometimes I don't think of how many weapons we actually have because it's my team and I think that everything's going to go wrong. But the 49ers do have a lot of things that a defensive coordinator needs to think about. But when I think of the Eagles, I'm wondering how are we going to limit both A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith? One of them is going to probably get theirs. How are we going to limit both Goddard and Jalen Hurts? I'm thinking of them in one and the same, just because I think the linebackers are going to have the linebacker that's focusing on one is going to let go of the other, and that's going to be the problem. So, man, if DeMeco Ryans is going to be a head coach next year, this is the game that he's going to make his money more than, let's say we are lucky enough to win this and go on to the Super Bowl, which I don't think is going to happen. But if it did, I think this game right here is possibly going to be the tougher game to scheme for. Not necessarily the tougher team to beat, but just a tougher game to scheme for when it comes to Jalen Hurts. That's all there is to it. Running quarterbacks who can also now throw very well they're a problem. And Jalen Hurts is an elite runner and maybe not an elite thrower, but he's definitely not night and day better than he ever has been before. And I would say he's quite well above average, if not an elite thrower these days. So yeah, I don't know what you do to stop that. I'm not even going to try to think about how they stop it. It's just they're going to have to play the game of their season up to this point.
It is what it
the
is.
49ers defense. Yeah, it is what it is. It will be what it will be. So, yeah, I'm rambling a little bit. I'm just going to kind of end it with going with my 3 keys, I guess, to possibly winning this game, or at least keeping it close and not getting blown out by the juggernaut Eagles.
You're
So
not going to be blown out.
clearly, we're going to have to run the ball. This is more than other games. We got to control the clock as much as we can and keep the ball away from Jalen Hurts as much as possible. That might not be possible, but it's going to have to be a focus. We got to run the ball. We got to keep drives going. Long drives would be ideal. Long scoring drives would be even more ideal, obviously. So yeah, run the ball. Number 2, I only thought about run the ball. That's when I said I didn't have a script. I truly did not have a script. So number 2 would be win the turnover battle, and the only reason I say that is because not only is it super important, but I believe the 49ers are undefeated this year when winning the turnover battle. So yeah, that's a big deal in our defense. Clearly this year we've made the other teams turn the ball over more than last year, and it's been a huge help, obviously, to our record and to our success overall in the defense. So win the turnover battle. Number 2. So number 3, I'm going to need the offensive line to play the game of their season up to this point. It can't be anything like it was last week against the Cowboys. It just can't. I do think that Purdy going through that adversity last week was probably a big deal in his quote-unquote development. I think that could do nothing but help him in this game. Even though we were at home, it was a hostile quote-unquote environment for him. He was literally under fire the entire time. I'm sure he's going to need that experience because right now it's going to be the defensive line for the Eagles is elite, and he's got the crowd noise to worry about. So,
Good old Philly.
Yeah, luckily he got that adversity last week. Didn't help me watching the game, and he didn't calm me at all. But I'm sure it's going to help him in this game. I feel like it has to. It's just he hasn't gone through a whole lot of adversity in his 8 games now, and last week was definitely and clearly the most adversity he's gone through this season. So he needed that. So yeah, offensive line going to need to play the game of their career, and I'll throw in the last. The second one where I said win the turnover battle, that will kind of play into what I'm saying now is I need Brock Purdy to just manage the game, not turn the ball over. At least not turn the ball over more than Philadelphia. So this is one of them times. It's the time of the year where every team's awesome. So it is what it is. There's no easy wins anymore. There's nothing that is given. There's no givens. There's nothing that's going to be easy. There's nothing that's going to go according to plan. It's just, you get into this individual game, which is a battle, and you just got to win it somehow. You got to come out on the other side with a W, and I don't know how we're going to do that. I hope we can. That's all I got to say.
All right. Well, speaking of Brock Purdy, real quick, I want to ask you from a Niners fan perspective.
Sure.
Do you agree with him having only played, 5 regular season games and being a finalist for Rookie of the Year?
That one's tough because
sure is a hot topic right now.
Yes, it is kind of a hot topic. I do feel like, obviously, if he had played the whole year, he'd probably be the runaway favorite for this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Duh. But it's a quarterback thing as well. So it's just easier for quarterbacks to win that award if they're starting every game and
plus
being
good. Take into consideration the cast he has around him. I mean, I'm not
correct.
I'm not denying.
That's a huge that's definitely a huge deal because it's not like every rookie quarterback comes in and just wins games.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's just the whole he's getting a little more. Clearly, he's getting more love due to the winning streak and due to him being Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah. I don't know if you ever heard, but he was the last pick of the draft. I don't know if you've heard that 17 million times.
I've never heard that before.
Do I think he should be in the running? Absolutely. Do I think he should win it? I don't know. I mean, I would probably give it to Kenneth Walker or Garrett Wilson.
But you agree that it's right that he made it as a finalist over Chris Olave?
Yeah, kind of, actually, because Olave fell off near the end of the year, and I don't think he had a complete season either. So, although he played every game, that guy started off like gangbusters and then did nothing at the end of the year. So if you're going by that, so basically Brock Purdy did nothing at the beginning of the year and then ended with a bang. So yes, over Olave, absolutely. I think the three should be Ken Walker, Garrett Wilson, and Purdy. And in that case, man, I don't know.
Yeah, those are the three finalists.
Okay, so I mean, that's what they should be. And I don't know. I mean, I could see an argument for anyone. I don't know that the number of games when you're a rookie is maybe it should be the impact more than the number of games. But and all three have had a huge impact. So if I'm being completely honest, do I think you should win? No, or I'm not sure, or even no. But if any of those three win, I think they're deserving. Quite honestly, like I don't think it's as hot of a topic as maybe it. I don't believe it should be as hot of a topic as maybe it's ended up being right now. When you're going based on impact alone, then clearly Purdy has been a huge impact and a savior, quote unquote, to our season. So if you're taking that into account, then yeah, he's probably should be in that top three.
And then one other one I just want to ask about, because I just want to get outside perspective too, because it's kind of been debated too here. And I'm not saying that he should have won it, but he should have at least been a finalist, especially all things considering from the beginning of the year. But the fact that I'm sure maybe I'm biased, but the fact that Pete Carroll wasn't even a finalist for Coach of the Year, I feel like is...
Yeah, I don't like that at all. And okay, so like the last, what were the top five? There's Daboll,
coaches, yeah,
Daboll,
who I think should win. Daboll should win it. I feel like.
See, I'm actually not on the boat of him. I love Brian Daboll, but I don't know that he should be in the top five. Quite honestly, I know that he did a lot with possibly a little. I would put Dan Campbell over him, and he wasn't even in the final consideration. And I know a lot of people think Shanahan shouldn't be in this top five.
Wait, Campbell didn't make it either in the top five?
No.
What?
That's nuts. To me, I think he should be the winner of this Coach of the Year. And I think Shanahan should win it? Absolutely not. But do I think he's a top five coach this year? And yes, I do.
I would say that too, just because the injuries and the quarterback injuries too.
Correct. A 10-game winning streak, third-string quarterback. He should be in it. I don't care what the rest of your roster is. He should be in it. It should be Pete Carroll should be in it for. Okay, this is another thing about the Pete Carroll thing. Well, I agree with you. I didn't think the Seahawks were going to suck. So that's another thing.
Obviously, I didn't either, but you remember, I sent you something at the beginning of the year where they were in the power rankings.
The last 30 seconds?
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, everyone in the media and everywhere was bashing them, saying, they're going to win 3 games this year. And so to do that,
I mean, to me and to you, they pretty much won as many games as we thought they were going to win.
They won exactly as many games I figured they would. I didn't think they'd make the playoffs, but the NFC ended up being a little weaker than expected. So
yes. Well, so while I think he's borderline top five, I wasn't like overly surprised with anything that happened. So it's tough for me to say, yeah, Pete Carroll should definitely be top five. I don't know. I think it's very close. Clearly, I think your guy should win Executive of the Year 100% hands down because you had the best draft in the last 10 years, basically. But the Pete Carroll thing is tough for me. That's borderline top five, but Dan Campbell not being in the top five is kind of criminal, if you ask me.
He was. Wow. All right.
No, he is not. I would actually say, Sirianni is kind of borderline top five for me as well. I know they're the best team in the NFC, but they're loaded with talent as well. Yeah. And I don't know that he did anything all that much more than what people thought they were going to do. That's all. So.
All right, well, we will go ahead and get to the picks now. Pooch picks, I know that has not been put out yet this week. It's going to come either tonight or early tomorrow, so be on the watch out for that. But, yeah, I could say, let's see what happened. Drake and Diogi both lost, I believe. Let me double-check that real quick. Yes, Drake and Diogi both lost. Drake picked the Bills, Diogi picked the Giants, so they're just continuing their downslide. They're both 10-9 now. Henry picked the Chiefs, so he won. I was telling you, if you would have had Henry pick the Niners-Seahawks game, and if he picked the Niners, he'd be in the running still to win this. So
yeah, well, if he would have picked the Niners, we wouldn't be here right now. So, yeah.
But yeah, so Henry's 6-11, and Jack got off the schneid, so Jack is 3-3 now. So he's been even throughout. So solid debut, I'd say overall, better than I guess Henry's been doing. So
yeah, not saying much, but yes.
So yeah, we'll have those Pooch picks out, like I said, either tonight or tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. And so, yeah, our picks for this week. So this week, it's like I said, you're up 82. I got 62. So this week is going to be plus 10 or minus 10. So
Of course you're changing the rules. I knew it.
no, so it'll just be plus 3 or 0. So
Got it.
yeah, I'll just go ahead because it really doesn't matter my picks. So my picks, I'm just I'm being strategic with this. So I got Niners by 4 and Chiefs by 4.
Of course you do. Yeah, so clearly you're making these picks to jinx me, and that's fine, which is weird. I'm definitely going okay, well, I'll leave the Niners until last like I always do. But when it comes to Chiefs-Bengals, I've kind of debated this a few times, and I don't know if I'm being stupid right now because I kind of feel just like last week, I feel like the Bengals have a better positional group at every spot other than tight end, offensive line, and maybe one defensive tackle spot. But overall, defensive line is still really good. And
Hold up. So are you saying Burrow's better right now because Mahomes has a bum
right
ankle?
now, yes, with the ankle.
Okay.
That's Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're saying Burrow's better than Mahomes, period.
No. With the ankle, yes, I believe so. But I'm going Chiefs by 1, and I don't know why. I have this. I don't know. I don't think
you know
it's
why?
going to
Because
scare
you
them.
want that rematch.
No, I don't. I don't want the rematch actually because I think they own us. But I don't think we're going to make it anyway. So there's that. But I don't know. I just have I'm going to end on this one, which I haven't done very much this year. I've tried to be very logical about everything this year, and maybe that's why I'm up 20. But I'm going Chiefs by 1. I think this is a one that the entire team, the Chiefs team, is going to want very badly. Obviously, so will Cincinnati. Duh. But I feel like if the Chiefs lose this game, it's a possibility that their little run could be coming to a little bit of an end. Not necessarily
I would agree.
that they won't be good going forward, but the mystique is kind of gone.
It's the Bengals now.
Yeah. It'll be the Bengals. It'll be the Bengals conference going forward if they beat the Chiefs again in Arrowhead. And I think things could start to change. Mahomes is only going to get more expensive every year. The Chiefs need this in order to keep their quote unquote aura about them. And I know that's very stupid and immeasurable, but that's why I'm going Chiefs. And they'll probably still lose, but I'm going Chiefs by 1. And when it comes to the NFC, we'll just keep riding that train. I'm going Niners by 1, even though I truly, honestly believe Philadelphia has upwards of a 60 to 65% chance to win the game. But I'm going Niners by 1.
All right, so we got the same picks this week. So
weird. Sure you don't want to flip right now?
No, I'm good. There's no need for me to. So
picking against your Eagles. Wow.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll say Niners by 20.
Go ahead. Do what you got to do. They know the universe knows what you're trying to do, and it's going to ignore you. So.
Well, it'll be what it'll be. So.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, don't really have anything else outside of that.
Yeah.
So, unless you got anything that you want to throw in.
I got nothing other than
is Nebraska ball marching their way towards the tournament? Or?
No, we've just lost our 2 best defenders in the last 2 weeks to season-ending injuries. We're completely cooked. It's actually pretty depressing. We've been in the games because of defense, and to lose both of our best defenders, one to a torn ACL and one to a torn-up shoulder, it's just we're done. We're done, unfortunately. So it's the rule, baby. That's all it is now. It's just watching this. Matt Rule do some pretty epic recruiting since he's gotten here. We went from like the 60th rated class to a top 30 or 25 rated class. We've gotten some pretty dang good players, especially in the transfer portal. So he's done everything and more than I could ask for. So we're the on-paper champs right now, and I'm sure we'll still win 3 games next year.
You got to see it on the field, though, the coaching on the field. Cause,
I know. Trust me, I'm not.
Lorenzo Romar for UW basketball was such a great recruiter and one of the best recruiters in the nation, but couldn't translate it to coaching.
Trust me, Nebraska's on-paper champs almost every offseason, although the last couple of years we really haven't been. Scott Frost was such a turd that there just wasn't much to look forward to the last couple of years, even in the off season. But I will say this: there seems to be a little more substance to the Rule stuff than just getting these recruits. I feel he's a good developer of talent, and he's got a plan, which I haven't really known any of our coaches to have in the last maybe since Bo Pelini a little bit. So it's been a while. So yeah, it's bull crap, and I'm drinking the Kool-Aid or the Rule-Aid, but I do think we have a better chance of being decent next year than we've had in a long time. So we'll leave it at that. We still got to do it on the field, but we'll see. It will be what it will be.
Yes, it will. All right. Well, before we head out, quick programming notes. If you've been following the last couple of years, obviously next week there will not be an episode. Usually it's not an episode during.
What's Tom going to do next week then?
Oh yeah. What is Tom going to do next week? I don't know.
I don't know. I got that in there. That's what she said.
Watch a Pro Bowl games, probably like the rest of us. I actually am looking forward to these Pro Bowl games. These sound fun.
Yeah, when it comes to the skills competitions and all that stuff, yeah, I'll watch that. That's way better than watching a game that is crap.
They're actually making it a flag football game now. That should be entertaining, actually. So
okay, yeah, I'll watch it. Well, it depends. If the Niners lose, I probably won't be wanting to do much of anything. Wait, when is the Pro Bowl?
All these events start, I think, next Thursday. I think it runs through Sunday when they do the flag football game. So
yeah, we'll see. I don't know that I'll be recovered from the loss by then, so we'll see.
Well, at least we won't have a video to do next week then if you lose. So.
Yeah, that's true. I'll get a week off to lick my wounds.
Yep. So we'll see you in a couple weeks then when we will get ready for Super Bowl 57, right? 58?
Sure.
57.
Sure.
One of those two.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
It's a number. It is a number. There is no doubt.
So, all right. Well, thanks for watching. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, and hey, fly Eagles fly.